Pointman, give us a read on what we're looking at here.
Okay, sure. So the game 6 Days in Fallujah is something that I've been keeping my eye on, and it's slowly but surely being shown off throughout the game's development. Originally, this game was planned to release in the early 2000s, however, the game was canceled and then recently brought back to life as they announced continued development, I think last year with the expected release date of 2022. Unfortunately, that was delayed, and now we're in 2023, and I think they're hoping to release it this year, but even after seeing some of this footage here, I question whether anyone will be able to get their hands on it until probably 2024. With them releasing only these small little bits of gameplay, only about a minute or two of gameplay, the game looks like it could be good, but it looks like it's still very early and it's in rough shape. I'll show those off here in just a second. I'll be going through those and pointing out some of the things that stood out to me and some of the things that look really cool. My name is Tacti. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. All right, just a quick note here. As I was looking through some of the 6 Days of Fallujah, their forum here, I found a letter from their CEO that basically explains that they're really having a tough time with the small things, the little optimization, which is what you'll see in this video. So keep that in mind. They've addressed it. They've addressed some of the frustration there. I'll link the letter down below so that you can read it for sure. But after making this video, I found this. So it does talk a little bit about what's going on and why we haven't seen a whole lot of video when it comes to this. That's all. Just want to give that little note here. Back to the video. The game is being developed by a studio called Highwire Games and published by a company called Victura, and they just released a new devlog talking about the different entry tactics that they're hoping to simulate from the real-world Battle of Fallujah. Now, just briefly here. They mentioned how during this battle, one of the main concerns of the soldiers was avoiding that fatal funnel that comes along with those close quarters battles. Most of you, I'm sure, have heard that phrase before, but if you haven't, well, just imagine a funnel. Imagine you're pouring water into that funnel, and you can only move the water in so quickly because of the restriction of the size of the tip of the funnel. Now, when your college buddies do something like this with a funnel, you think it's funny, but when it comes to human bodies, it's a more serious topic. They mentioned that in order to prevent pushing all members of the fire team funneling through a single entry, which can be extremely dangerous, they utilize a split entry, which splits the team up into multiple entries, which in this game will disorient the enemy AI and give you that advantage. So that's what we're going to be seeing today. Just a couple short videos with my thoughts. Let's get into it. All right, so they gave us some 4K footage here. This is pre-beta gameplay.
This is our target building. We got 2 windows on the right. There's a door on the left. And we're going to take our rear element and push you guys on the left-hand side of that wall. Get ready for...
Okay, so you can see here, the guy with the rifle to the left, you can see some of his movements. And while this is pre-beta, these animations aren't smooth. You can see it sort of moving around a little bit, sort of, I'll call it hitching, but just stuttering along the way. So that's an interesting thing. You can see also the windows. That's really interesting because it's super bright outside. So in this scenario, obviously the light is going to be on the outside of the building, and inside seems very well lit. Other than that, maybe that doorway there, but the internal lighting of this building just seems a bit off. But again, keep in mind, pre-beta gameplay. So let's continue.
Push up to the door. We got you guys covered as you move. Let's do it.
Now, another thing I see, and I don't know, as far as I know from ACOGs, I've never used one, but they don't have like a top sight to it. I could be wrong. Correct me in the comments if I am. But you can see he's aiming with his irons down the ACOG, which is a very strange thing. Maybe that's their way of doing some sort of point shooting because it's so close quarters you're not going to use the ACOG. But just an interesting mechanic that I've noticed both with this one and the last gameplay. But let me know down below.
Contact.
Contact in the building. Cover your windows, rear element, push up.
Okay,
the
you
door
can
on the
see there. You can see there that he's got a little bit of a lean, so that's certainly going to be in there. I don't know who engaged who in this scenario, because we see 4 guys out here. Maybe there's more inside that just went in, but you can see that they're assessing the situation and sort of discussing what's going on. There they go. Even with those walks there, let's roll it back just a bit. Even with walking up to the door, it's just not that smooth. It's a lot of stutters along the way. And you'd expect that if this is coming this year to be a little bit more smooth, a little bit more fleshed out a little bit, but we'll see.
Position while we create a distraction on the right-hand side. Eric, I'm right behind you.
Moving. I hear him inside.
Yep. Oh, contact radar spot. Door team hold. Eric, push in.
Okay, so you can see in here through the doorway, they've got this set up in that doorway there. So I don't think you'll be able to get over that. Maybe you will, but it's certainly not something that you probably want to do unless you know the house is very clear. Okay, did you hear that? That was actually pretty cool. I'm going to wind that back a little bit. When he says ready, it echoes through the room, and the spatial audio sounds really, really good there.
I'm going. Door team, get ready to breach in 3, 2, 1, go. Contact.
Now you can see how that guy got a little disoriented. He initially looked at you, looked at them, and looked at you, and had to go back to he obviously got smoked. So that's what they mean by disorienting the opponent. Now we'll move on to the next bit of gameplay. Okay, so this is another approach. You're going to see how they get into this other building. Also very interesting, but it's not the same team. They're just playing here.
A big open courtyard, couple doors, lots of windows, everything's buttoned up pretty tight.
Kind of cool. You can see their mouth moving a little bit. If you wind it back a little bit, you can see his mouth moving in his helmet there. Pretty cool.
Tight. Bars on the windows. Just gotta get up closer to get a better look.
All right, let's all push up to the wall together. Go.
A lot of stuttering there. You really shouldn't expect that with,
Taking a peek here.
especially if they're just playing LAN or
Yep.
I don't know what they're
Supported
playing,
by
but
type, we do have 2 vines on the left. So Pointman's going to provide security on the left-hand side while a rear element goes into position for a top-down approach. And we'll follow up afterwards.
Copy.
Ready, guys? Move.
Moving. Moving. Moving.
now they've got really good
Got your
communication.
windows
I'm certainly not going to have that when I play. They're saying a lot of phrases that it just is not natural to me. So
Security.
All right, there's contact inside. You guys can move up in 3, 2, 1, up.
I don't know if you've tried to do that before, but that is a very difficult task. I'm interesting to me here that they don't try to have a couple, to boost each other up, because that's a very difficult thing, especially when you got your gear on. It's difficult just without gear, but to grasp a ledge like this and to go up. But regardless, they're up there.
Holding on the roof, you can move up.
Ready
All right, I'm
to
moving
go.
into position with you. Moving up. All right, ready to climb in 3,
Now,
2,
you see,
1.
let's go
Coming
back
up.
a little bit.
Ready
All right, I'm
to
moving
go.
into position.
You see as he's moving through this way, all these buildings in the background. Like, is this going to be a house-to-house kind of thing? Is it just a simple single house? Are you going to be worried about the insurgents on that left side of the road there that I'm looking? Is that going to be an issue? I don't really know how big these maps are going to be. I know internally and from what it looks like on the other side of a wall, it's going to be procedurally generated. But am I going to have to worry about a sniper on top of that pink roof over there?
All right, ready to climb in 3, 2, 1. Coming up.
We got the door on the left.
Let me know when you're ready.
Yep, I'm on left-hand side. You guys are going to push right. Ready, breach in 3, 2, 1. Go.
Okay, so one thing. Now, again, I may be wrong about this. I am not a military expert. I'm not a close quarters combat expert. But this looks like a hole in the door where, one, they can see your movement, and two, maybe they shot through or something like that. This guy standing right in front of this door here and not stacked up on the side while this guy breaches with his kick. I can't say that that's proper protocol. But again, I'm just a civilian. Y'all can correct me. I may not even have the right to comment on this, but we'll see.
1. Go. I'm going, Eric. Light on.
Oh, see, okay. Look, dude,
Contact
this
downstairs.
guy, so this guy with the RPK here, he should have seen this movement in the doorway, known that they were up here. They're talking, and the dude's just sitting there. And so that's what makes this so dangerous, is kicking this door open like this while you're standing right here. These two would be toast. It just is not proper formation. Now I'm sure of it because I saw that.
1. Down.
Stairs.
The sounds are great, man. I gotta say.
Another one.
The sounds really, really are good. And it's interesting. It's actually pretty cool that that guy was hiding in the corner there because thinking that they're going to come from this entryway here, he's really stacked up around the corner. And that just emphasizes further how much you're going to have to look to the sides, how much you're going to have to check your corners. And also, those are nice Adidas.
Friendly's in the living room. Friendly's living room. On the right, Eric. On the right. Nice.
Ooh-wee, look at this.
Mark 3, we found a cache of heavy weapons. Floor in place.
Planning charge.
Okay, so this must be an objective area here. This must be the weapons cache that they're supposed to remove. So apparently that's going to be sort of a main component into this game. It's an objective that you have to complete. In this case, it's the weapons cache. You may have some sort of VIP that you have to grab and extract, or you have a person of interest that you have to kill or assassinate. I don't know, something along those lines. It looks like a cool concept. But I don't know, what do you guys think about the gameplay? What do you think about this game going forward? Comment down below. If you liked this video, give it a like. If you didn't, give it a dislike. Stay safe out there, and until the next one, be bold, be courageous, stay gray.